Hey everyone, welcome back to Tuckaway Pines. I made this delicious big pot of chili and I have so much left over, and I figured I'd show you guys how I make it last up to a whole year on my shelf. Stay tuned. The way I store my chili is by canning. First step is to get my jars all nice and clean, sterilized, and my pot of chili all warmed up. The next thing I start doing is filling my jars. Now, to not make a huge mess, I like to work over a towel, and a jar funnel is a big asset when it comes to filling jars, especially when it comes to filling it with chili. But I fill my jars completely, leaving about an inch and a half of headspace. That way when I am canning, nothing seeps out through the jar lids. And then I take my debubbler, poke it in there, pop any bubbles, settle all the solids and stuff, and make sure if I have to add any more, and everything is good. Next, I am wiping the rims and the threading of each jar with distilled white vinegar. This helps clean the rims of any oils, any food debris, to make sure the lids seal properly. Next, I'm going to be adding all my bands and lids. The trick with your bands is to make sure that they are only finger tight. You don't want to crank them too tight, otherwise they won't seal properly. There won't be a vacuum created inside the jar. And then if they are too loose, then the seal on the lid itself won't be in enough contact with the jar to form around the jar, creating a nice and solid seal. So make sure your rims are nice and clean, and make sure your bands are just finger tight. In order to can chili, you have to use a pressure canner. I have mine filled with water to the proper level. It is heating up, and now I'm filling it up with all my jars. I have placed my lid on top of my canner with my gauge, and you see the little vent off to the left. I have to allow my canner to warm up and let that vent for 10 minutes. You can really hear the vent steaming now. It's been steaming for 10 minutes now, so I'm going to put on my gauge pressure regulator so that my pressure gauge can start building up to the proper pressure in order to can the chili. Based on my elevation and the fact I'm using a gauged canner, I have to can at 11 pounds of pressure. For quarts, I have to can for 95 minutes, and for pints, I have to can for 75 minutes. I have to ensure that it stays in that range, otherwise I have to start my time over. Now that my time is up, I allowed my canner to cool down and come all the way down to 0 pressure before opening it up, and I'm carefully grabbing the jars out of the canner so they can continue to rest and fully seal. And that white film, that is because I forgot to add white vinegar into my canner to ensure no mineral buildup. And here it is. Beautiful, nice full jar of chili. Here's a little trick I'd like to do to make sure the seal's good. Just hold it by the lid and the lid stays on. It's sealed. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. It's a nice, easy way to preserve good, quick, easy meals, even save leftovers from previous meals, and put it on the shelf. It lasts up to a year at least, if not a year and a half, if you don't eat it first. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe so you don't miss out on any more fun videos.